What is going on, everybody? It's Acorn Man back with another LEGO Star Wars review. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the 75300 Imperial TIE Fighter, released back in January of 2021 for $45. Real quick, guys, don't forget to like the video and comment down below if you're a fan of this set or enjoy the review. And as always, we're going to start by taking a look at the box. And here we have it, definitely a very simple box, as you can see, with the TIE Fighter up at the front, although I do really enjoy the inclusion of the Death Star 2, I guess technically cementing this as a Return of the Jedi set, although obviously the TIE Fighter appears in every original trilogy movie. We've got our banner featuring Darth Vader up at the top there, looking very nice, as well as our set information up in the corner as always, and our minifigures down below, of which this set includes 3. And we will get more into these guys in just a minute. TIE Fighter pilot on the top of the box, as well as some more pictures and functionality on the back. We also have a small shout out to the LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga video game, which you should definitely play if you haven't by now. And that is going to wrap it up for the box. So let's take a look at the minifigures. As mentioned previously, this set comes with 3 minifigures. We'll start by taking a look at our TIE pilot, very detailed for sure. Would have been very easy to make a very simple all-black minifigure, but as you can see they definitely decked him out with a lot of gray and silver details, especially on the helmet, which looks absolutely fantastic. The Imperial logos look great, as well as the gray stripes down the face. I know these guys aren't nearly as iconic as the Stormtroopers, but I've always been a really big fan of the Imperial pilots, and I think LEGO captured the look of them very well. Taking off the helmet, we have a pretty standard face. This dude definitely does not look too happy. He does have some back detail as well, not too much, but just enough in my opinion. Next up we have our basic Stormtrooper. Very glad to see him, as I quite like the look of this one. In my opinion, you can never have too many Stormtrooper minifigures. So even though he's not really required for this set, I think he was a really good extra. We've got a pretty decent amount of detail on the helmet, chest, and legs, as you can see there. Quite a bit more than the original Stormtrooper minifigure, although I don't think these guys are nearly as iconic. And underneath his helmet we have another very angry face. Well, at least angrier than the pilot. Clearly these guys do not have very much fun serving the Empire. We've also got some nice detail on the back of the torso and the helmet as well. Overall, a very solid Stormtrooper minifigure. And lastly, we have the droid NIL-8. I'm sure you can see what they did with the name there. I have to admit I am a fan of that. Not very crazy about this minifigure though, I just don't really think we needed to see it. It does look pretty good with a decent amount of detail though. I do quite like the head sculpt on this guy. He does have some pretty nice leg printing, as well as back printing. Has a bit of a metallic effect, as you can see. Not a bad minifigure by any means, but I honestly would have just preferred another Stormtrooper for army building reasons. But overall he's fine, making for a pretty decent minifigure selection overall. So with these guys out of the way, let's get to the TIE Fighter itself. Alright, so here is the build for the Imperial TIE Fighter itself. This one has been very scrutinized for its slightly smaller size compared to previous models, but personally I quite like the scale of it. Obviously the TIE Fighters are some of the smallest fighters we see in Star Wars, so having a model that's slightly smaller actually makes this a little more in scale with some of the other builds, and also just allows for me to fit more of them on my shelf. I also think they were able to put quite a bit of detail into this little fighter. I really like the pieces that LEGO used to make these wing designs, as well as the printed piece on the top and the printed cockpit as well. Very nice and very clean. And as I'm sure you've noticed, we have 2 spring-loaded shooters at the bottom of the fighter here. Very easy to use these, just simply push forward. I actually had to put a decent amount of force into that. Easy enough to reload though. Also a nice little bit of detail on the back there. Like I said, I do like this model quite a bit, although as a lot of people have pointed out, these dark gray pieces are pretty distracting. Obviously, it's not a huge deal, it doesn't ruin the set or anything like that, but it is definitely distracting, as it is a color difference that is definitely not supposed to be there, making for a bit of an inaccuracy. Aside from the spring-loaded shooters, the only other functionality that this set has is the ability to open up the cockpit and place the pilot inside, as I'm sure you would expect it to be able to do. All you have to do to access the interior is bring the front plate down and the top section up, allowing you to easily place your pilot inside. Alright, so that's just about it for the 75300 Imperial TIE Fighter, and overall I actually think this set is pretty solid. Like I said, I actually like that the build is a little bit smaller. I think that actually makes it a little better for army building, although I have to admit that really does not help in justifying a $45 price point for this set. I really don't think you should pay more than $35 for this set. I got 2 of these guys at Walmart's $32.99 price point, and I will likely grab 1 or 2 more before they retire. Aside from the price point, the only real problem I have with the set are these 2 pieces right here. Is it a big deal? Obviously, no, but I really just can't look at this set without my eyes going straight to those. Like I said, it's just a little distracting. Overall, I give this set a 7 out of 10. If the original price point would have been a little bit better, these pieces the right color, as well as another Stormtrooper or maybe an interesting Stormtrooper variant in the place of NIL8, then I would honestly probably give this set a 10 out of 10, but as it is, it just has a couple hangups that I can't fully get past. So not perfect, but definitely a solid TIE Fighter. I would recommend that you pick one up, just definitely not for $45. Alright, so I think that's going to wrap up this review. If you enjoyed the review or you're a fan of this set, make sure to like and comment down below, and subscribe to the channel for more LEGO Star Wars content, and I will see you guys in the next one.